Hey guys, what's up? Bronx Outdoor Adventure coming back with another video. I finished my meal preps from this morning. I'm messing about with the amateur radio stuff. Some guys were talking for a little bit. I kind of got into this during the pandemic. It was quite a learning curve to learn the UHF stuff and the local communications and how repeaters work and stuff like that. So I'm currently working on wiring. I just cut the factory connection to one of my radios, and I am making these Anderson power pole connections. Like I said before, the amateur radio community stuff is cool. You learn a lot about wiring, electricity, and things like that. So I'm currently working on wiring up this system in here. I built this bracket. Sorry for the shining light. I built this bracket back here to hold my power supply and hold a secondary radio. I mounted this power distribution system in there so I can power all the stuff in the radio. I currently just put in these connections. These are the coax connection. One is going to be for the HF communications, which is high frequency, UHF, VHF, which is usually local comm, stuff that the police or EMS, MTA, businesses use in local municipalities and stuff like that. This connection is for the secondary radio in the rig. So I'm messing about right now, just trying to wire everything up, make my connections to that power distribution in the back, like I said before. That receives power from the power supply, which is this device on the bottom. And that basically distributes power to that unit, and then I can power whatever devices I want. The goal with this project is to be able to take this case out on the go and work HF, UHF, or my communications on the go. So as I'm working on building it and laying it out, I am trying to wire management everything so it's nice and neat for future maintenance. What you don't want to do is just kind of wire everything up and throw everything in there, and then it just becomes a mess when you have to work on something. At some point, I'm going to be adding some sort of a battery unit so the unit can work on battery, on the go, or I can flip a switch and then connect to some sort of AC power unit or a generator or some sort like that. But then the idea is to then learn about solar generation or solar recharging so that I can use a solar panel to recharge the battery that's going to go in the case, and then I can operate the radio equipment. The one thing I like about the amateur radio stuff is that you learn so much more than just playing walkie-talkie. You learn about wires, you learn about amperage, ohms, resistance, reflection, things that happen with the radio. For example, when I transmit on the radio, and I'll give you guys a test I want you to see. This is Kilo Delta 2 Papa Bravo Alpha, Kilo Delta 2 Papa Bravo Alpha, running a test. If you noticed, my power, my reflection, and my SWR. If my reflection and my SWR are high, that means that I am getting feedback back from the antenna, back into the radio, and that can burn the radio. So you learn so much more than just...
Your normal self.
Give me 1 second. K2LTM, what's up, buddy? I'm doing a quick video. Give me 2 seconds. I was running a test. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Kilo Delta 2 Papa Bravo Alpha.
Alright, let me go send you my picture so make sure you take the right side.
That is a Roger. You're always handsome on every side, my friend. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So, as I was saying, when you start transmitting, I've burned this radio before. I don't know if it was a factory defect, but smoke came out of it, and then I learned that I should have some sort of digital SWR reading device so that I can read my power going out, my reflection, and my SWR, so that I know if I'm getting some sort of electricity or reflection back into the system, which will then burn the radio. I've learned so much about electronics, wiring, voltage, grounds. I also have a ground system in here that I'm adding in. So when I'm out in the field, I can ground the case to the earth And if I get any feedback through the antenna or any static electricity into the antenna, because yes, you can get static from wind out in the atmosphere, and it can go back into the radio and burn the radios. So you learn so much more. It's a great way to get kids into technology. It's a great way to learn about electricity, ohms, resistance, and all that other great stuff. You also can start tinkering around with like solar panels, charging, solar gates, charging gate. It's so much. It's a never-ending rabbit hole of technology. And I am very particular with how I build things. I like things to be very nice and functional. These are waterproof USB connections. Not that the case would be out in the rain, but again, I like a nice finish, if you will. This is your quality of build. So you can program the radio on the fly. No need to mess around with cables inside. You have your connections. And as I slowly build out this system, I want to have a nice finished quality product as if some sort of like company built the unit. That's basically it. That's what I'm working on my day off as my hobby today. And I'll bring you more videos as the case progresses, because the outdoor adventure page that I'm doing is not just work related. I go on hiking trips. I take my radio communications with me. I have walkie-talkies that I use out on the trail. I also have what's called a GMRS. GMRS is something that you pay $80. The entire family can use that communication system. They're very powerful, very robust. 50 watts out in the field. You can get handheld. You can communicate from your camping vehicle to a handheld. Or you can do what I did was, first I went into the amateur radio community, and then I just got the GMRS. So if I go out with my family and friends, they don't have to worry about violating any FCC regulations transmitting on the amateur radio community. Whereas a GMRS is designed for you to pay the $80. I think it's 5 years. You get the license. And this particular license is Whiskey Roger Frank Utah 635 is my call sign for that. But your whole family can use that out in camping and communications. It's so much that you can learn. It's a great way to keep kids active, learning technology, because it's the way of the future. And communications is one of the things that's important with our future development, right? Think about it like this. When we go to Mars, how are we going to communicate with another planet? We have to have some sort of intergalactic or planetary communication of some sort. So this is where it all starts. In fact, in the amateur radio community, the astronauts do communicate with Earth using HF related technology. So fun fact for you. That's basically it for today, guys. And I said, as the build continues, I will give you more insight on how the box is being built out. And that's it. This is Kilo Delta 2, Papa Bravo Alpha, aka Bronx Outdoor Adventure. Always find an adventure in what you do.